Hello everyone, warm wishes of the hour. This is Dr. Yogesh Kumar Dubey, Associate Professor in the Department of English, University of Delhi. We all are familiar with Citizenship Amendment Act 2019. Now the time has come when it has been enforced. Herein today we are going to talk about, in this session, how to get these citizens of Afghanistan, Bangladesh and Pakistan registered as Indian citizen under CAA. See, who are eligible for getting registered as Indian citizen in CAA is number one, the people should belong to Afghanistan, Bangladesh and Pakistan. Number two, they must have migrated to India on or before 31st December 2014. Besides, the third point which must be kept in mind is this, that these people must be belonging to the 6 religious communities. These communities are Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist, Jain, Parsi and Christian. Now we come to the essential required documents. As it has been stated earlier that the people should belong to ABP countries, that is Afghanistan, Bangladesh and Pakistan. So they must produce those documents which show their citizenship of these countries. These documents could be passport, identity card issued by or in that country, or any other document which justifies their being a part or a citizen of any of these countries. The other point which is essential is that the applicant must have some document issued by central or state government which states that they have entered India on or before 31st December 2014. These documents include visa with a stamp of immigration, Aadhaar card, driving license, PAN card, etc. It is also to impart unto you that the website of Ministry of Home Affairs contain a list of 20 documents which could be used for the purpose of registration. Moving ahead, we come to the section of affidavit and eligibility certificate. An affidavit in the prescribed format on stamp paper of rupees 10 or more, which is to be attested by a notary public or oath commissioner, is to be produced, and obviously the format is available on the website under Schedule 1C. When it comes to eligibility certificate, that is also available on the same website under the same schedule, wherein we find the certificate to be certified by community institutions in India. An affidavit available in the already filled in application form is to be attested by a notary public or an oath commissioner, and a character certificate that follows this affidavit is to be signed by an Indian citizen certifying the character of the applicant. Both these documents at next stage are to be uploaded while processing the application form filling at further stage. Further details regarding this process would be given at the next stage of discussion. Now friends, moving ahead towards the registration section, let us see how to get yourself registered at first. You have to just put the URL ID on the URL bar of search bar, that is indiancitizenship.online.nic.in. After this, you have to scroll down. This page would be opening, and then you have to scroll down the page. You would come across to this section where you would see click to submit application for Indian citizenship under CAA 2019. By clicking this section, you will find this login portal. At first, you have to register yourself. So for that, you need to have one email ID and one mobile number. You can use either of these. Either you can put your email ID here or mobile number. After that, you have to put the CAPTCHA and then you have to continue. After continuing, you would come across the section wherein you will find an OTP. The next processing would be requiring the entry of these OTPs on the next page. Friends, moving ahead, this is to convey that once you have got yourself registered, you can log in into your account. For login, you would be using your login ID, that could be your mobile number. After that, you would be finding an OTP. By putting the OTP into the required slot, you would be coming to this page. This is also to convey that from same login ID, other members of the same family can get themselves registered for citizenship of India. So here we have one example that one member of a family has already got registered. From the same login ID, another member can get himself or herself registered. So we move ahead here just to show the further processing. By clicking that particular section, you would be coming to this point wherein you would be asked the question, did you enter India on or before 31st December 2014? As informed you earlier, here only you can apply when you fulfill this criteria. Then you have to put yes. In case you go ahead with no, you cannot apply for registration under this scheme. And then you'd be coming across the next question. Which country's national you are? You have to tell whether you belong to Pakistan, Afghanistan or Bangladesh. In case you belong to none of these countries, you cannot be considered as a candidate for this registration. Next, you come across the third question, which says, do you belong to any one of the following community of Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan? You have to tell the community to which you belong to. Hindu, Sikh, Jain, Buddhist, Parsi, Christian or other community. The next point which says, do you have valid passport and valid Indian visa or LTV? Go ahead with no. Because in case you want to go ahead with yes, then CAA is not apt because already the government of India has provision for valid documents citizenship. The next point asks, are you a person of Indian origin and ordinarily resident in India for 7 years? You see here, the details are, you are a person of Indian origin if you or either of your parents were born in undivided India or in such territory which became part of India after the 15th of August 1947. In such case, you can go ahead with option no. In case you go ahead with the option yes, then you have to upload the documents which certify your being born or your parents being born before or on 14th August 1947. The next point which says, are you a person married to a citizen of India and ordinarily resident in India for 7 years? In case you go with yes, then you have to provide evidence in the form of your marriage certificate. Otherwise, you have to go with option no. The next point asks, are you a minor child under 18 years of citizens of India? If you say yes, you have to provide documents certifying your statement. If you do not have that, go ahead with option no. The next point which says, are you a person of full age and capacity whose parents are citizens of India by registration as person of Indian origin or by naturalization? In case your option is yes, then you should provide evidence in the form of citizenship certificate. Otherwise, you should go ahead with option no. Next, we come across the point which says, are you a person of full age and capacity who himself or either of his parents was earlier citizen of independent India and ordinarily resident of India for 1 year? If you say yes, you have to give evidence. Otherwise, go ahead with option no. Then we come across, are you a person of full age and capacity from Afghanistan who is registered as overseas citizen of India card holder for 5 years and ordinarily resident in India for 12 months before making application? In case your option is yes, then obviously you must upload the evidence in the form of card which you hold. Otherwise, go ahead with option no. The next point says, are you a person of full age and capacity residing in India continuously for 12 months before making application and for 5 years in aggregate during a period of 14 years preceding the aforesaid period of 12 months before making application? You have to put yes if you come under the eligibility criteria already conveyed unto you. In case you do not fall into those criteria, then you won't be able to move ahead with the request for Indian citizenship. After filling all these options, you should accept and submit your application form for further processing. Now we come to the next section. This section contains 7 parts. Part 1, that reflects the applicant's details. Part 2 concerns the address of the applicant. Then we have family details, criminal proceeding, and then part 5 talks about preview and submit. Then we will find documents uploading, and finally we will be reaching to online payment section. Now coming to the first part that concerns applicant's details. Herein the applicant has to provide details which are asked for in this section. The very first detail concerns applicant's name. For example, the name of the applicant is Lakshman, then here should be mentioned Lakshman. If the applicant has any other name known as alias name, that should also be mentioned here. The gender could be placed inside this box, male, female, whatever it is, and the date of birth is also to be provided. Then we have to come to the next section here. The next bar concerns birthplace of the applicant. Country of birth, that is also to be mentioned. Birth state, which state of the country to which the applicant belongs is his or her birth state. District of birth is also to be included. Identity mark, email ID, mobile number, occupation, all these, pay attention that red-starred bars are to be filled with due information. And present nationality, nationality by birth, specify minority community. To which minority community of any of these countries, that is Afghanistan, Bangladesh and Pakistan, you belong. As is already informed to you that the 6 minority communities of these countries are to be nominated or registered under the CAA of India. So these communities are Hindus, Sikhs, Parsi, Buddhist, Jain and Christian. The next section herein is of father's detail. Give the name of the father, Ram Nivas, the example is here, resident of Pakistan. Date of birth of Ram Nivas, birthplace. All this concerns the details of the applicant's father. Country of birth, birth state, district of birth, citizen of. This is similar to the first section of this page. Then mother's detail is also to be given. Find the name, resident, birth, date, birthplace, country of birth, birth state, district of birth, citizenship, and applicant's marital status. See, marital status is also starred with red. Here you have to tell about your marital status. In case you are single, you would be putting single. The rest of the details won't be coming here for any further elaboration. But in case you are married, the spouse name is also to be given, date of birth of the spouse and the birthplace of your spouse and the citizenship of the country to which she belongs. That is to be included. Though your employer's detail is not starred as red, but still it is advisable that in case you are working anywhere in India, you should provide details of your employer. The question is applicant in service? In case you are, yes, put yes. Employer's detail. Here you can give the details, address, name, etc. City or town to which your employer stays or where your employment is, the state and the district. These details are to be included. Passport, residential details. Here you have to tell about date of entry in India. 2nd August 2013, for example. In this case, this is the entry date. So you have to mention on which date you entered this country, that is India. Country of passport. In case you have passport, tell about the country to which your passport belongs, passport number, passport valid up to, what is the date up to which the passport is valid, and visa residential permit up to what date. Those things are to be informed here in case these are applicable to you. Then you come to the next section. Here we have certain statements. The first one says, I have resided in India continuously for a period of 12 months, immediately preceding the date of application. See, this is one of the mandatory points. In case you do not fall under this category and you have to put no, then the CAA provision is not meant for you. The applicant who fulfill this statement, this condition, only they can go ahead with option yes. In case they do not fall under this statement, they cannot go ahead with yes, and by putting no, they won't be able to get citizenship under CAA. Next we have, during the 14 years immediately preceding the said period of 12 months, I have resided in India for a period amounting in the aggregate to not less than 5 years. This is as significant as the previous statement. Here also, if your option is no, it means you do not fall under the CAA citizenship provision. In case yes, you fulfill this term and condition, you should choose yes and go ahead. The next statement is, the question is whether the applicant is a subject or citizen of any country where an Indian citizen is prevented by law or practice of that country from becoming a subject or citizen of that country by naturalization. Under CAA, it is only no, which would be leading you to get citizenship under CAA. The next point concerns whether ink-signed copy of the certificate of registration or certificate of naturalization is required. You have to just put yes or no. If you want a hard copy and ink copy, then you have to choose yes. In case you are satisfied with virtual copy, you can choose no. Then comes Indian languages that the applicant has adequate knowledge of. Languages as specified in the in the 8th schedule of the Constitution of India. So here we have these languages which are here in Indian Constitution, 8th schedule. You have to choose any one of them which you are well versed in. In case you are a Hindi speaker, choose Hindi. Reasons for which applicant wishes to acquire Indian citizenship. That is also mandatory field. Why do you want to become a citizen of India under CAA? So you have to, maybe there is religious persecution. You are coming from any of these countries where because of being a minority as community or on religious grounds, you are being persecuted, then you can give religious persecution is the reason because of which you want to be a part of Indian citizenship. You want to get Indian citizenship. Then name and address of a person whose affidavit testifying to the character of the applicant is attached herewith. Here you have to tell the name of an Indian citizen who is ready or who would be certifying your character. The person who is going to testify your character should be detailed here. The name of the person and address of the person. And then comes applicant's photo. And here in this we have photo and signature, two parts. Pay attention that the photographs of these, that is your identity photograph and your signature photograph, must be in JPG format, and they must not exceed 50 KB in size. Apart from that, preferably do not exceed 100 into 100 dimension of these uploading documents. After that, enter CAPTCHA and then go to save option. You will find successfully saved. Click next button to proceed further. Then you should put OK and go ahead. Now, this is the address bar. Address section, therein you have to provide the address, applicant's present address. The applicant has to provide the present address, that is if the applicant is presently, yes, living in India, she should write India, and the provision has initially told to you that the applicant must be living for last 12 months continuously in India when he or she has applied for citizenship. So present address is to be mentioned, that is country, India, state, Delhi. If it is Delhi, you should put Delhi, district of the state wherein the applicant is presently living, and further details such as city, town, sector, pin code, etc. And then CAPTCHA, which is shown here, is to be put into this box. With this, you have to save this part. Successfully submitted. Now, we come to the next part of this. Details with address of residence in India for the last 14 years. Now, after applicant's present address, we come to the section which asks for details with address of residence in India for the last 14 years. Herein, you have to add your address detail on which you stayed for or during last 14 years. So, you have to give address, then town, pin code, state, district, and country. You have to tell the duration from which to which you stayed at this particular place, and then CAPTCHA is to be entered and save. See, this is also to inform that in case you had stayed at more than one place in India, you should add another column for giving details of those places on which you stayed during last 14 years of your stay in India. And then you should come to next button. With that, you would reach to family details. Herein, you have to tell about your family members. This is to be kept in mind that you should tell about those family members of yours who are staying in India and who do not fall under the category of CAA citizenship in India. Our cursor on next button and go to the next section. That is criminal proceeding. In case there is any criminal proceeding registered against you, you should tell the details of the details of the proceeding. You should not conceal it. And then you should go to the next. Now we come to the preview and submit section. Herein we have an option to take a look of the filled in application form. You can take a look of whatever data you have given to the application form. In case you feel like any kind of change is required, you can opt for edit address details. In case you find any error is there, you can click on edit and then you can change. Required changes could be brought in. After this, final submission. In case you are satisfied, you can submit your application form. Confirm. Now, once you have uploaded documents, that is documents uploading section is over, you come to download application. You download application form from here and then open it. This is the application form which comes after the download is done. Here, part 2 of this application, which we see spreading from page number 2 to 4. We have to pay attention. Number 1, on page number 3, we have oath of allegiance. Oath of allegiance is to be left untouched by the applicant till he or she is invited by district level committee. Oath of allegiance is to be filled in front of the district level committee. So there the signature of the applicant would be taken there only, and the authorities would be putting their signature or certification. What the applicant has to do before reaching to DLC is to focus on this affidavit to accompany the application for a certificate of naturalization under the Citizenship Act 1955. Here in UVC, you will see affidavit is to be attested by notary or oath commissioner or magistrate. Then we come to the next part here, affidavit testifying the character of the applicant. This section is to be testified by an Indian. An Indian would be putting his or her signature, which certifies the character of the applicant. With this, we come to the completion of this section. Once you have got over with these formalities, you should pay attention to the documents to be attached with the application by the applicant. These are 6 in number. Number 1, a copy of any one of the document in Schedule 1A. A copy of any one of the documents in Schedule 1B. An affidavit in format as in Schedule 1C. The 4th point, a copy of valid or expired foreign passport if available. Point number 5 says a copy of valid or expired residential permit if available. And the last point says one affidavit from self, that is applicant, and one affidavit from an Indian national testifying to the character of the applicant in the prescribed language available in the application form. After this, we would be coming to the next section that concerns uploading of documents. Now we come to the documents uploading section. Herein, you will find under star category 4 columns. And in these columns, these starred category columns, you cannot skip any of the uploading section. You have to do. The first one talks about Schedule 1A, a copy of any of the documents which come under Schedule 1A. Therein, it concerns your original identification regarding your nationality. That is to say, those 3 countries, Afghanistan, Bangladesh and Pakistan. Any of the documents given here from 1 to 9, you can choose to upload. And before that, yes, you have to tick mark. In case none of the documents is available right now or at the time of your filling up the application form, and you think at the time of meeting the district level committee you would be able to provide the document, you should choose number 10, which says I will submit the relevant document before the district level committee, and then you can save it. After this, you can go to choose file and choose the file from the section of your computer or wherever you have saved that particular document in the scanned form. Then the applicant is supposed to come to the second, Schedule 1B, wherein we find around 20 documents from which they can choose any of these documents. These documents concern their existence or arrival in India on 31st December 2014 or before that. So same way, you have to choose any of these documents, save and just saved, and then go to choose file. And from there, choose file. From there, you can choose the file from the relevant places and upload that. Then we come to the next section. Let us come to Schedule 1C, an affidavit in format as in Schedule 1C. This talks about affidavit. Here, in case you have not already downloaded, then this gives access to you to the affidavit and eligibility certificate. This affidavit, as given in the template, is to be taken on a stamp paper of rupees 10 or more, and then the same is to be attested by notary public or oath commissioner. Likewise, this eligibility certificate is there, which already have been talked about. This eligibility certificate talks about community institution. That is, it is to be certified by the community institution inside India, which testifies or certifies your religious affiliation to any of the 6 communities which CAA provides: Hindu, Sikh, Jain, Buddhist, Parsi or Christian. Then the same eligibility certificate and the affidavit should be put into one PDF file, and that should be uploaded, save, and then the copy should be uploaded here by choose file. We come to the next section, the last start. One affidavit from self and one affidavit from an Indian national testifying to the character of the applicant in the prescribed language available in the application form. In fact, this section talks about the application form which the applicant has filled in and downloaded, and after that downloading, in part 2, we had affidavit testifying the character of the applicant and affidavit to accompany the application for a certificate of naturalization under the Citizenship Act 1955. Both these, the applicant is supposed to have already gone attested and testified. This is on page number 3 and page number 4. It should be uploaded on the designated slot of upload section by choosing the file, and then upload document should be ticked on. Then one should move to the next section. Now, after the documents uploading section, we come to online payment part of this process. Herein you will find online payment system. The name of the applicant is shown here and applicable amount is rupees 50 only. You will be finding this SBI ePay portal. You have to move ahead. Internet banking is the option which you can choose. See, this is SBI Gateway, and from here you have other options to which bank you want to choose. Wherever you are comfortable, you tick that one, and after that just pay now option is to be clicked. Payment would be done. You can or you should download the payment receipt for further required formalities. After fee payment, you should take down the printout of fee payment receipt and keep it intact with you along with all other documents which you have uploaded here for your CAA citizenship, as well as the downloaded application form filled in duly in all respects, that is certification as testimony or affidavit attestation kinds of things. Apart from that, you should be prepared for not losing your contact number. It should be updated always, and also your mail ID with which you have registered your request for CAA citizenship. This is to remind you that you would be receiving message or call either on your phone number or on your mail ID or on both for your presentation in front of DLC for verification of your documents. It is also to inform that you should not miss the URL link for any kind of update, any kind of information, or once again for filling up your application form for signing up your identity. That is India Citizenship online.nic.in. With these things, with these pieces of information, I wish you all the best for your registration under CAA. Thank you.